Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's watch list review. I have not looked at this yet, any of these yet, so I do not know how they did, and I don't believe I traded any of these. If I did, I just scalped them for just quick moves. I didn't. I had a pretty hectic week, so I didn't really have time to look at too much. So did not. Like I said, I think I traded PayPal and I just scalped it. I'm sure I traded AMD at some point this week, but they weren't based off of this list. They were just scalps that popped up on my one of my alerts or something. So let's take a look. I have not seen this. I have not reviewed any of these, so I don't know how they've done yet. So let's take a look. First one we have AMD. AMD above 112.33. Let's take a look at the weekly. We did not trigger. So AMD did not trigger, so that was a no play. Las Vegas Sands below 39.50. So this one did trigger, and it hit all both targets and then some. The trigger was at 39.50. It hit 36.42. I only had a target down to 38.74. It didn't go down any further. But if you look back on the daily chart, maybe even the weekly, yeah, not much there on the weekly to go down lower. But if you look at the daily, see if we can go back far enough to see anything. Yeah, we can't even go back. That's probably why I didn't put another one on there. So either way, both targets were hit on Las Vegas Sands. From the trigger to the low, the trigger to the target 2 was only 75 cents ish, but it was a $3 move down to where it went. Nike above 173.96 did not trigger, so that was a no trade. Pepsi above 156.67, that one triggered and fired off for a $3 move. Hit all 4 targets with ease, and went, like I said, ran another $4 after it triggered. Now if we look at the daily, we can see it triggered right here. It actually broke the first 3 targets the first day on Monday. Tuesday it went up, almost hit the 4th target, and then we pulled back, came down right down to the 9 EMA on the daily and bounced. Well, actually came down and stopped on the 9 EMA. The next day it moved down to the 21 EMA. It actually opened there and had a big day. That was yesterday, and that's when it broke target 4. But either way, at this point, if you played it smart and followed what I preach in here, you should have moved your targets up along the way. Tuesday you would have opened up here. We'd have to look at the 60 to see what way it went, but I'm going to guess it went up and then pulled back down. And the reason I can guess that with pretty good accuracy is the bulls were in charge here. I assume the bulls were still in charge in the morning, and the bears were in charge here. So it looks like bulls were in charge, and then partway through Tuesday, the bears took over. So that's why I can assume that it went up and then it pulled back, because the bearish activity continued on Wednesday. But we can take a look at the 60 and see exactly how that played out. So if we go back to, I went back way too far, Monday. We go back to here. We actually opened halfway between the trigger and target 1, but then we pulled back, and you could have got in here. Some may have been looking for a gap fill, which we didn't quite get, but to me, this would have been close enough to get in, close enough to the trigger to get in. So you could have got in, rode this up, target 1, target 2, target 3, all hit in the first hour before 10:30 a.m. on Monday. The 3rd target was hit. At this point, you probably should have moved your stops up along the way. If you didn't sell here, you should have probably had your stop at least here. And I say here because it's kind of in between these 2 target levels. Some people might have set their stop here, but this would probably be a good place to put it right here, in which case it would have stopped you out before before the end of the day. If you did continue to ride it, you should have been stopped out down here. At a minimum, your stop should have been here. If you didn't move it up as you went, your stop should have been the low of this candle, and it broke that here. So should have got some profit on that one. So that's Pepsi. So that was a winner. PayPal. PayPal. Let me zoom in here. We actually took out the first 3 targets, almost hit the 4th. And if you look at my broadening formation, you see we came right down, just barely dipped below that broadening formation. So those broadening formations work. Let's go back up and look and see. There's another one I normally look at. Yeah, nothing on AMD as far as broadening formation. I may not have even had a broadening formation on this one. Nike, nothing there. And I'm saying nothing there because this is what actually was the top for the broadening formation. Pepsi, nothing on the broadening formation. The week started right, would have been here, 15th, 16th. So it started here. We didn't get near. Actually, we did. We came up yesterday, poked above the broadening formation, came back down, and then today we poked above it again and came back down. So we did get some resistance there. PayPal, that's the one we just looked at. It came down, touched the broadening formation. I drew this broadening formation on the weekly chart from this low to this low, and you see where this week went. So again, first 3 targets hit on PayPal, almost hit the 4th, came right down to the bottom of the broadening formation and stopped there, bounced off of it. So PayPal, Uber, similar with Uber, same thing. You look at the weekly, we triggered, broke the low, which triggered the entry. So you could have got in right here. On a gap down, I don't like to enter, but this is tight enough of a gap that you were okay. You could have put your stop maybe right at the close of this candle, which would have gave you 25 cents a room, which isn't a lot, but you didn't need it for this one. It went down, it took out target 1. The low was 39.24. Didn't quite take out target 2, but it went down, poked below the broadening formation, so that was a winner. It took out target 1, almost target 2. Win below 93.59. Below 93.59, we took that out, triggered, took out target 1, took out target 2, almost got to target 3. So another winner there. Yeah, that was a nice. The trigger was 93.59, the low was 87, so that's a nice $6 move. So that was definitely a winner also. And that's all I had for this. But while we're in here, let's take a look at some other charts. Just because I want to point out some things on broadening formations that I noticed. And I only noticed it on 1 or 2. Let's go to the weekly so you can see where I drew them from. Yeah, this one may have been drawn off the daily. Apple, AMD, Amazon, Caterpillar. You see Caterpillar, it was drawn off of this low and this low. We came right down. It actually honored that a couple of times, just barely poked below it. Caterpillar, Facebook, Home Depot. I'm looking for ones that bounced right, went right to the broadening formation and stopped. We already looked at that one. Netflix, Nike, Nvidia, Pepsi was one. We already looked at that one. We already looked at PayPal. Q's, Roku. SPY was one. SPY would have been drawn from this one and this one. It was it respected the broadening formation last week and this week. If you go to the daily, just barely broke above it on the daily, and this was last week, barely broke above it, but you can see that it offered resistance. Tesla, yeah. So you see the broadening formations; they do work and do have an effect. So I'd say a pretty good week this week. I think that was what we have. Probably, I think we had like 3 that didn't trigger, and 3 that were winners, and one that I think maybe one that didn't win, didn't hit a target. Let's take a look again. Just go through them real quick here. Amazon, no trigger, or I'm sorry, AMD. Las Vegas Sands took out all the targets, so that was a winner. Nike didn't trigger, so we're 1-0 so far. Pepsi took out all targets, so 2-0. PayPal took out most of the targets, so 3-0. Uber took out first target, almost the second target, so it's 4-0. And Win took out the first 2 targets, almost the third. So it looks like 5-0 this week. Another pretty good week. Unfortunately, I didn't get to trade those, but I'll try to get another video, get some scans going, get another video out maybe Sunday evening for this coming week, and we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can keep this streak going and get some winners here. All right, thanks for watching, and see you later this weekend. Bye.